Oh, Trump is deploying the troops. Pam Bondi's going to run it. So, guys, if you think that the Epstein things went well, wait till you see this.
It's going to be phase one.
Everybody who lives there is going to be invited to get a book. Do bad things, go to jail. We knew that. Oh, okay. Wait till phase 2. Sorry, we don't have it.
We're going to skip to phase 3.
Which is nobody will know. Chad, you always take the liberal side. When did I take the liberal side?
Whenever you don't validate somebody's feelings.
What liberal side did I take? It's probably right, but still, what liberal side did I take? I've taken no liberal side. DC's done this to themselves. They have. It's like with immigration. You did that to yourselves, Democrats. And what happens is we're seeing when you don't do things the right way and you allow things to get out of hand, what happens? There's an overcorrection. And then it goes over here to one side, and then people go, oh, that's a little too much. And then it goes back over to the other side. And where's common sense?
Well, you know what the solution is?
What?
Legal weed.
Yeah,
legal weed.
That'll fix everything.
Legal weed. Well, they're going to do that. He's trying to figure out, okay, how do I do this without pissing everybody off?
Hey, well, he's floating that balloon. He's put it out there, and let's see where it goes.
It's like, what do you do? He's like, how do I do this? Because we've been the party. And, you know, for all the people out there, Trump is far more of got a libertarian feel for a lot of stuff. He put people on the Supreme Court when it comes to abortion, but that was never like Trump's. It was a big deal for a lot of people, but it wasn't like Trump, like he lost sleep over it. We got to figure out how to get a bunch of people on. No. And even he's kind of walked that back. He's like, well, you know, what about this? And same thing with weed. I don't think Trump cares. He doesn't. And like anything, here's a perfect example of ridiculousness. So everybody goes, oh, I don't want it to smell like San Francisco, although you can't smell through all the poop and stuff on the ground. So that's hard to tell. A little mixture. But if you go to places like, you know, I've heard a lot of this about Colorado. It smells like weed. It was never meant for you guys who wanted to do that, to do it everywhere all the time. That's the thing. It's funny. Smoking was one of those weird things where eventually smoking was kind of like gauche. You just didn't do it out in the public. So they'd have an area and you'd go over and smoke. People, though, once they made weed legal, people just walking around, just it's like a reggae concert. No, that's not what you're about. It's, hey, look, guys, it's going to be just like you can't drink outdoors. You can't be wandering around unless you're homeless, drinking. Just, hey, guys, what's going on? I got a drink. I saw a old report. I think it was like NBC from like the 80s. These guys are cracking beers in their truck, and they're like, they better not tell us we can't drink in our trucks no more. I was laughing.
Give it 5 minutes. Somebody from MAD wants to talk to you.
Yeah. So it's crazy. But like anything, just don't be an idiot. Common sense. DC's in this because they don't use common sense. You've got laws in the books, you don't enforce them. You got laws in the books and you ignore them. You got laws in the books and you're at the point now where you're completely understaffed, outmanned, out everything, and you just give up. Nobody wants to be a cop anymore. Can you blame them? I was watching an interesting conversation between police officer and was one as a podcaster. He was talking about the fact that there's a perfect example of like California, LA, supposed to have God knows how many cops, 15,000. They had like 6,000 or 8,000 cops. Nobody wants to be a cop. Recruiting them is insane. When I was in Arizona, my buddy, he was tasked with the job, and I'll see if we can get him on this week, of trying to keep recruits and police officers from quitting. He goes, you get these people all the way through, and then they're like, I don't want to do this after, they go on a ride along and actually get out there for a couple months. They're like, I don't want to do it. And he was talking about nobody wants to do these gigs anymore because they feel like not only are they at risk for danger, they're also at risk for feeling like they're always going to be sued and nobody's going to back them up. which sucks. I'm sure some of you listen to are police officers. Yeah, it's not worth it anymore. It's like, they got a camera. I don't want to be seen as the bad guy.
Yeah, it seems like you've got to walk such a fine line.
Yeah.
And it's actually, it has gotten to a point where a police officer's job is more dangerous because of just kind of the shift in society that, it happened during COVID and after, the Minnesota guy. I can't remember his name.
Floyd.
Yeah, George Floyd.
Yeah.
That, anything you do as a cop, you've constantly got a phone on you recording you.
All the time.
Why do you want to put up with that, put your life at risk every day for that?
Because somebody shoots 30 seconds of something that was a 15-minute thing.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you're all over the news as the worst person on earth.
Right.
You're a racist. You're against your culture. Whatever it is, you're sued. Everybody's after you. You face going to jail because the pressure on the DA and everybody's mounting. And you didn't get the whole thing.
Right.
We caught a moment in time. And even if eventually everything comes out, it doesn't matter. Everything is destroyed for you. Everything is. So being a cop, it's a thankless gig. These guys work their asses off for what? For what? I'm curious. Like that Mamdani guy in New York, his thing is like defund the police.
Yeah.
Great. How about this? Everybody who wants the police defunded, raise your hand. Now, if something bad happens, they're going to send a counselor. Even if a guy's got a machete and he's hacking you up, that way maybe he can talk you out of it. And on the other side of it, if you want the police, guess who shows up in a situation like that? Somebody underpaid and overworked. So, and it's like a shark attack too. There are how many instances where humans come together with police of all races, of all makes and models, and there'll be 8 to 10 different things throughout the year where people lose their mind because it is shown in such a way that makes the cops look horrible. And it's not to say that cops can't be. I think we recognize that.
Sure, there's bad apples in the cart.
There's bad apples everywhere. Everything. It's like with teachers. Oh, no. No, there's bad teachers. I have news for you. Just like there's bad doctors, which is really not good. Bad pilots? You don't want that at all.
Yeah, that's very little room for error.
Yeah. So when it comes to this, though, do I understand why people are frustrated? Yes. But this has to do with the fact that you also have to have a working relationship with the city councils and the DAs. And in many of these cases, in the big cities, they don't. The DAs and city councils and mayors are all to the left. And so everything is deemed evil, racist, and bad. And so there you go. Because you have, it's like with immigration. Trump didn't do anything magical. He's like, let's put the remain in Mexico back there. So if you try to come across, turn around, put you back. That's it. Pretty simple. That was it. Biden's all, I need $50 gazillion to fix it. No. Enforce the laws that are on the books. And if you don't like those laws, then change them. But ignoring them is ridiculous. And that's what happens in too many of these places. No cash bail for everybody. Well, that's silly. Do I think some people are stuck in a situation where they're close to broke all the time, they got nothing, and they get picked on some stupid warrant that they've had for a while? Next thing you know, they're sitting in jail for months and months. They lose everything they have because they couldn't afford bail. That's ridiculous. I don't think anybody wants that, even some of you listening. But at the same time, do I think that if you're wanted on your 12th aggravated assault in the subway of New York for trying to light people on fire? Did you see that guy playing the cello the other day? He's playing the cello. People are filming him. Some dude walks up, picks up something, and just smashes his head.
Good grief.
And that person looked like somebody who was actually a writer. Not a homeless person, but somebody who's just kind of somebody going to work or school. Smashes him in the head.
Mm.
If they caught that guy, what happens? Oh, they'll let him out in 5 minutes. There's the insanity of it all. That's it. Don't be hitting the cello guy in the head. That's not very nice.
Yeah, cello's good music.
It is. Was it Yo-Yo Ma?
Yes.
Yeah, your ma, my ma, all ma. I'll tell you that right now.
Yo, Ma.
Yo-Yo Ma, what's up? It's not hard. But common sense has eluded everybody in politics over the last umpteen years. It's now about making the most noise and saying ridiculous things and not getting a lot of stuff done. So Trump is forced to go in there and he's going to all right, we're going to put these guys out there and see what happens. And we'll see. I think the FBI's getting involved too. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's pretty much all law enforcement level federal agencies are involved. ATF, FBI, DEA, they're all going to be involved.
How thrilled do you think the FBI is? Hey, guys, come here. Remember that time that you guys got to learn how to do traffic tickets? Oh, yeah.
Told you it'd pay off.
Yeah. And somebody said, well, why? What's the difference between all of these things? Well, one is police have a different set of rules than the FBI. That's not really their jam, is traffic stops. Because that was one of the questions they were being asked. Traffic stops? You guys can make traffic stops? If you want to stop things, pick the 5 to 7 areas that are a problem, over police it there. It's a simple thing. Police the hell out of it there. Because those people that live in that area, 99% of them don't want the crap that's going on. They don't want the shootings. They don't want the muggings. They don't want any of that. And D.C. is, it's one of those places. It has definitely changed a little bit, but it's always been kind of that way in certain areas. Just like New York in the 70s and 80s. You guys ever watch old shows or movies and they show New York and it's like the grossest place ever? It was never sunny. It was always dingy. The buildings had no windows. Everything was falling apart. Everybody got mugged. That's how we got Death Wish. With what's his name?
Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson, the Canadian Machine. How's it going, eh? He was awesome.
What are you doing?
Yeah. He was on like his 48th Death Wish movie.
Yeah, how many? I think they had 5 of those.
Oh, it was awesome.
And I think the last one, he was actually...
He was like in space?
Yeah, he was using rocket launchers and things like that to take out rapists and drug dealers.
Yeah. But that's what New York was like. New York was, it was pretty nasty back then. And it's gotten that way now. But now we just don't, even if they arrest people, they throw them out in 5 seconds. There's no room at the inn. I think it's a good way to describe it.